Okay, so today I want to talk a little bit about tattoo regret. It's a real thing, it affects a lot of people.
What in the hell was I thinking getting this tattoo?
So I just got a new tattoo and I regret it.
Every time I get a face tattoo, I think before I get it.
Notice when you flip it upside down, when it doesn't have the petals, it just looks like a used tampon.
But first, let's talk about this panther I'm about to do on my Argentinian friend. It's the best design you can get, honestly, if you're into tratty tatties. Okay, tattoo regret. This is the best way to avoid regretting your tattoo. First off, go slow. I don't want to sound like an old school tatter in this video, but there is some real wisdom in this idea of going slow, maybe staying away from your hands, your forearms, your neck, your face, before you have tattoos. I'm saying for your own good. You might not want these tattoos. You might regret them. And if they're in places that are like impossible to get rid of, that's just a bummer. But also just like take your time getting tattooed. You have a whole life to do it. I've been in this world for like 11, 12 years. I still am far from being done with my tattoos. I have the room now to get better ones, and from people that I'm really excited about. So go slow. Step number 2, I hate to be the one to tell you, maybe you shouldn't get tattooed. It's just real. Like there's a lot of people who I meet who I'm talking to about tattoos and they're like, I really want this tattoo, but I'm afraid I'm gonna regret it later. You're the perfect person. You're not meant for it. It's all good, like it's not meant to be. My sister is a perfect example. Love you, Andy. If you watch this, then you know I'm talking about you. She's an amazing artist. She understands what art is. If she had a tattoo, it would probably drive her crazy, all the little imperfections, and she would regret it. There's a lot of people like that out there who like either change their mind really easily. So be cautious. Also, what are you gonna do if you go to show your friend, like, look at this tattoo I got on my forearm, and they go, oh, what is it? A lot of times you show people and they're like, I don't really like it. How are you gonna be able to respond to it? If you're like, I don't care, and I'm not gonna care, then great. But if you're like deep down inside, you're like, ooh, that might hurt a little bit, then maybe don't do it. Doesn't make you soft or anything. I think it takes real courage and strength to not go with the trend. And right now, being tattooed is trendy, so go away from it. Don't do it. Okay, step number 3. This is the hardest step and the most confusing one, and it's really meant for people who want to have a lot of tattoos. But let me try and break it down, and that is choose a style and go with it. But a lot of times I will have someone come into the shop, they show me a tattoo, it's a great tattoo, they say, I love the artist, I love what they did, it just doesn't go with everything else I have. This happens so often. The way you can prevent that is by being as educated as you possibly can. And even then, it also is gonna take a great eye to understand like what artists can I get tattooed by and still have this cohesive sleeve or body or whatever. And like the way that I would suggest it to someone who knows that they want to have tattoos, there's about 4 different styles I would recommend. Traditional Japanese, traditional American, black and gray, and that's kind of like your Chicano style, or your really like portraity style, those dudes. Neo-traditional. And a lot of that has to do with my own like personal bias. There's plenty of other stuff like that, like patchwork crap or whatever. You know, all those different things are fine too. Picking one style and going with that the rest of your life, which is a crazy commitment, is gonna help you to not have that regret of like, oh, I like this one, it doesn't fit me. And I know like I pointed out 4 different styles, and even within those styles, there's like hundreds and hundreds of different things that people are doing, different ways of doing it. So like really having an understanding about tattooing is really gonna help with preventing these tattoo regrets. And even then, you can do everything right and you still might regret some tattoos. And this part is really difficult because I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. That's just how tattooing goes. Everyone I know who has tattoos, any significant number of them, says that they regret some. It's part of it, and if that like makes you not want to do it, I think you're better off wishing you had a tattoo than wishing you didn't have a tattoo. That's it. This panther came out rad. The placement couldn't have been easier, and it also helped that it was going on a friend that I just enjoy being around. So if you like that video, make sure you watch last week's video. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe. I'll see you next week. And if you ever want to get tattooed like a sick tratty tatty, hit me up. I'm there for you. I'll make it happen. Bye.